Today, I am going to be sitting down with another Laid Back Magic member, Bailey, who just got back from a late March trip to Disney World. She was with her husband and their 2 boys, who are 9 and 4. And to give a little bit more context to their trip, they stayed at Art of Animation. They used the Disney dining plan. And they actually did 4 park days with a rest in the middle, which I love. And they decided to splurge on Premier Pass for their Magic Kingdom Day and Hollywood Studios. Something I love about Bailey is she's someone who really thinks through things before a trip. So we're talking about whether specifically the dining plan was actually worth it, how Premier Pass compared to Multi-Pass on their park days, and just kind of what worked with her kids at these specific ages. So if you're planning a Disney World trip with elementary age kids, maybe you're wondering whether Premier Pass is worth the money, what Premier Pass even is, or trying to figure out if the dining plan actually is going to save you anything this year, or if you just want to hear how another family approached a pretty classic 4-park trip, keep listening and help me welcome Bailey to the podcast. Hello, and welcome to the Laid Back Magic Way podcast. I'm your host, Dana Stanley, creator of Laid Back Magic. As a mom of 3, I know how tough it can be to find time to plan a Disney World trip that doesn't leave you feeling stressed or overwhelmed. That's why I'm here, to help moms like you create Disney vacations that feel even better than they look on paper. Here, we're not chasing perfection, but creating our next favorite memories. So whether you're brand new to Disney or looking to go deeper into the details, this podcast is your go-to for simple tips, mindset shifts, real-life trip recaps, and expert insights to make your trip magical and manageable. New episodes drop every Monday, so be sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment. Okay, let's dive in. Hi, Bailey. Welcome to the Laid Back Magic Way podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to chat about your trip because you kind of literally just got back from Disney World.
We did. We got back on Saturday.
Where did you stay? Actually, I know where you stayed. You stayed at Art of Animation, but I'm curious to talk about that resort particularly because I think you've only stayed there for all of your trips. Like you went the first time and then you booked it again and again.
That's correct. We've stayed there for 3 trips now, 3 years in a row. And we initially booked it just because it's a value resort with the family suites option. Mm-hmm. So we book a Cars themed family suite.
And what's the setup of that room, with the beds? What does it look like?
It's really nice. You walk in and there is essentially a kitchen or dining room table with 4 chairs. And that table converts into a Murphy bed.
Okay.
I believe it's a full size. Mm-hmm. And then you can walk further in and there's the little kitchenette and living area with a pull-out couch that is also, I believe, a full size. And then off to the side is a bedroom with a queen-size bed for my husband and I and our own bathroom. And then the kids have a bathroom out in the main living area.
Oh, that's nice. Mm-hmm. So it's really almost like a 1-bedroom.
Yeah, I guess so. Mm-hmm.
But actually 1-bedroom, a 1-bedroom villa is only 1 bathroom. So having 2 bathrooms is really nice.
That is. It's very nice. The one is a tub shower combo toilet room and then the sinks outside of that. And then the one in kind of the primary bedroom is a walk-in shower.
And having 2 boys helps. I'm sure they love the Cars theming.
They do. Yes. When we were first looking to go to Disney and realized that Cars was an option, at the time, my 2-year-old was obsessed with Lightning McQueen and all things Radiator Springs. And the theming of that resort, you walk into that area and you feel like you are literally living in Radiator Springs.
Oh, I like that.
They have the life-size cars all set up to take the photos with. The pool is themed to the Cozy Cone motel that's in the movies. It's very cute.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of Cars stuff. I know they're building that section in Magic Kingdom, which I'm excited about, but that's one of the things I love about Disneyland. And I'm kind of waiting for my son to at least be able to ride more rides before we go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Because it is such I love Cars. I like just more Pixar stuff in general. I would love to see more of that. But we have not gotten over to Art of Animation. I've almost I don't love the Skyliner, or maybe you don't know that, but most people love it. My kids love it. And I recommend that a lot to members of like, if they're looking for like Cars stuff or just more like of the characters, to just like hop on a little Skyliner ride to Art of Animation and like walk around.
Definitely. There's the Lion King section with the larger than life Lion King character statues. There's the Finding Nemo section, and then there's the Little Mermaid section too. So you could spend a whole day just walking around, feeling like you're kind of in a Disney park at a resort.
How do you feel the buses were there? I mean, obviously they don't bother you because you're going back and you like it.
Yeah, I will say we are not a rush to the park rope drop family. Mm-hmm. So we are not out at the bus line very early in the morning when it could be busy, but we never had to wait much longer than 5 minutes, if that, for a bus to come.
What time do you usually leave? Like 9, 10?
No, well, like 7:30, 7:45.
Oh my gosh.
We're early, but just not the super, super early crowd.
Yeah. No, that's good to know because I never leave earlier than that.
Yeah. And we were at the Skyliner too, to go to Hollywood Studios and to go to Epcot. We would be at the Skyliner line about that too, like 7:45, 7:50. And it would feel like it looked like a long line, but it moves very quickly. We were still in a park by 8:30.
That's good to know because I know that's one of the things like people worry about with value resorts. I mean, obviously being able to walk is always my number one thing. But with the value resorts of Art of Animation and Pop, just being on the Skyliner, again, if you're a normal human being and not me, then it's really nice because it's constantly moving. So even if the line looks long, and we saw that even when we were leaving at nighttime, like it can look like a really crazy line, and they put people together. I don't know if they do that in the morning.
They do.
Okay.
They do. When it's busy, I'm a family of 4 with a double stroller. They would still add another 2 to 4 people with us in the Skyliner gondola or whatever you want to call it.
Did you do a stroller this time?
We did. My oldest.
Did you do a double?
We still did a double. My oldest is 9. Okay. We told him this is his last year.
Girl, don't say this. Don't have any, even like a hint of embarrassment. Because first off, like I need a stroller. I know people joke about that, but literally I have sat in the stroller when I was pregnant and my feet hurt.
Exactly.
And I was pushed on the way back to the boardwalk. But 9, I was only asking if it was single or double because I feel like so I have an almost 10-year-old, an almost 6-year-old, not really almost 6, she's 5, and then the 2-year-old. And when the 2-year-old was born, the oldest kind of got kicked out of the double stroller, right? Because I'm not going to she was 7, which is borderline. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of like, we took it very easy because I had a newborn with me and like, you can't do a lot. But I decided that like 7, 8, I think she was almost 8, is borderline. Like they don't really need the stroller when they're in the park because they're going from like ride to ride and like getting up, going to the bathroom or you're eating or whatever. But it's that getting to the park and like getting back to your resort. And I'm sure it's kind of like a hike, right? From actually getting to your room at Art of Animation. Like you're getting off the bus and then you got to go all the way to your room.
It wasn't bad, I guess, because we were in the Cars section. We did stay in the Lion King section last year. So we've done Cars, Lion King, Cars. As my youngest became obsessed with Lion King for a year. So I would say that everything is pretty centrally located to that bus station and to the Skyliner too. But when they are tired after a long park day, my oldest definitely hopped in the stroller and got pushed to the room.
Yeah. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you did the double and you didn't regret doing the double?
No, my husband just got tired of folding it up and lifting it into the Skyliner, and in the room, it takes up a bigger amount of space, but it allowed us still to book it across a park or through security easily, just having the option to be like, just sit there for a second.
Right. Totally. And you didn't take a midday break? Like once you got to the park?
No, we did. We stayed. Like I said, we're not a true rope drop family, but we were there usually at early entry, and we would last through the park until a sit down table service dinner, usually around 5:30. And then after dinner, we would just be done for the day.
Okay. That sounds doable.
Yeah. So we're just not I would say like the nighttime park people yet.
Mm-hmm.
My youngest doesn't take a nap anymore, and my boys are very active. And so just getting from the resort back to the room, taking a rest, getting back to the resort, that honestly would stress me out more and just seemed like more of an effort. Whereas if we could just stay in the park, and at that 2 to 4 time frame, we just kind of planned to do more low key things. We would see a show, we would get an ice cream and just sit in the shade for 20, 30 minutes. So they kind of had downtime in the park. And then
because it also was it really hot that time?
It got hot after lunch. The mornings were beautiful, but it would get mid 80s. I guess that's not really hot for Disney. Coming from March weather at home, it felt hot.
Yeah, your body's like not acclimated.
Right. Yeah.
Where we are right now. Yeah, totally.
So they still needed like a little downtime, but not enough of it to require going back, taking a nap, and then getting back to a park to do more things later.
Yeah. So you weren't doing fireworks or like Fantasmic? You didn't, right?
We have not done them yet.
Oh, that's exciting. I'm like excited that you haven't.
We go back and forth a lot with the risk of keeping them up later and then them not being as well rested the next day, even if it's just for a rest day. You know, we treat it like a normal 9 to 5 routine and have our dinner, and we go back to the resort, take showers, watch a show. They're in bed by 8:30. Everyone's tired. So everyone goes to sleep.
I know. Everyone goes to sleep so much better. Like I do get overly worried of like our sleep situations, like the setup of where everyone is and the white noise machines. And then once the trip is happening, I'm like, oh, they like are exhausted.
They're exhausted.
Especially my middle, she'll put herself to bed and just be like curled up in the bed. The TV will be on and she's just passed out. But that's great. I think that's smart. I kind of do that with Animal Kingdom a lot. Okay, if you are planning summer or maybe fall trips, or honestly just want cute Disney clothes that don't necessarily scream Disney adult, I have been loving the small shop Tomorrow's Memories Club. Their whole vibe is basically Disney moms who want to look cute and wear things that work outside of the parks too. So think coffee runs, baseball games, errands, and obviously, of course, days in the Disney parks that feel laid back and stylish. I've especially been loving their hats because they feel vintage and fun without being over the top. They have things like the Main Street Mom Club, and they also have It's Giving Magic hats. Everything just has a little nod to Disney. They are constantly coming out with great new styles, and they've even launched a running line, so they're adding a touch of magic to every mile. You can use the code LAIDBACK for 15% off your order, and I'll be sure to link my favorites in the show notes. So with Animal Kingdom, because it opens so early, we aren't usually in a rush to get there, but it's still like on the early side. If you want to get to early entry, it's still like sometimes 7:30, depending on the time of year. It's kind of a far park, and it just seems like not worth it to go all the way back for a nap and then go back to the park, because then it closes at 6. And I'm always surprised by this, because I guess it didn't always used to close so early, and they really need to make it later. They're obviously doing it for some type of reason, but I think it's so cool at night, especially Pandora World. So it's not worth it. We just kind of get there when we get there, do dinner at 4, and go home and treat that almost as a half day early bedtime. But it's hard, especially your trip wasn't too short. But if you are doing a lot of later nights, you're like missing the next morning. Like, you know that you're not going to be able to get home after fireworks. That's always my problem, is I love the fireworks. But especially in the summer, we're going in July. I know that the fireworks are going to be like 9:30.
And that's what they were this week too.
Oh my goodness. I thought they'd be a little earlier.
I was hoping it would be like 8:30. I think Fantasmic was earlier, maybe 8:30, but I believe the fireworks were 9:30. And I was like, there's no way. Not yet.
That is the nice thing about like the more winter months, if you go before the times change.
Right.
So that kind of makes sense. But yeah, the fireworks are like so nice and early. But in the summer, we were like going to bed and it was almost the sun was setting, and you hear like kids playing outside. It's hard because I'm like, go to bed. Like, it's late. But I like that you stayed value, but then you also did, I feel like, a few splurges too. So you did the dining plan, which I'm going to put that in like the medium category because both of the boys were free because they're 9 and 4, which is really nice. Did you price, like how much did you price out before you decided to add it?
So my older son has 2 food allergies. And so before every Disney trip, honestly, before anywhere I go, I am looking at restaurant menus and I'm figuring out what he can eat that's safe for him. And I'm figuring out exactly what we're all ordering just to be prepared. And so this year, like I've done before, planned out every quick service lunch we were going to get, every table service dinner that I wanted to get. And a friend said, why aren't you doing the kids eat free promotion? And I was like, I don't know. It always just seemed pretty stressful to worry about making sure you accomplished all of your credits, used up all your credits. And I did the math, and Sarah from the Main Street Mom is our planner. So she helped me figure out how much it would cost to add the dining plan for the 4 of us. And I added up every meal that we were going to get and realized that on paper, if we order everything that we plan to order, it will cost us less money if we pay for it ahead of time using the dining plan. I think what gets tricky with it is the little details of it. For example, an adult quick service meal includes a drink. But on paper, if I order the drink, I'm saving money. That's great. In the moment, I may not have actually wanted it. And in real time, I may not have actually even ordered it. So it's close enough to think dessert at a dinner. I ended up being full. I didn't actually want the dessert, but it was paid for already. I ordered it. I took a little bite. It's a lot of food. Disney is a lot of food.
Which is what, it's funny, I had Sarah on the podcast and that's what we talked about. And it's been a long time since I did it. And I'm where you were months ago. Because I remember we were chatting about this in the forum too, of like calculators and deciding if it's going to be worth it. I'm kind of in that boat right now for our summer trip. But the difference between our situations and yours is my daughter will be 10, which stinks because she'll be an adult. So I'd have to pay adult prices for her and lose. So like you got it like right at the perfect time with the 9 and 4-year-old. I do think there's a few things that are different in my mind versus when I used it. A big one is just that the technology now and the app, like it does help keep a little bit more track for you versus when I did it, there wasn't even an app, which is so weird. I mean, maybe I'm trying to think if there was I'm sure there was an app, but it definitely wasn't something like you couldn't mobile order food for sure. But it also felt like a lot of food if you're the type of couple, because I know it's not everybody, but like me and my husband will share a lot. He's not like a huge dessert guy. We do drink, but again, it has to be like we're in the mood for it. It's not like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We need like a dessert or a cocktail. So it is nice with the kids dine free because that was like half your family was free.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Which is really nice. So it sounds like it was still like you still saved money, you think? Or did you?
Financially, we saved money. Yes. I just don't think I would do it again. It would be, number one, my oldest would be 10.
He'll be 10.
So adult prices. And the app did make it very easy to keep track of. I was able to see when my husband accidentally ordered my son an adult chicken finger instead of a kid's meal.
How dare he?
I know. And then the one night at the resort, my boys wanted the pizza slices, and that's not offered as a kid's credit. So they got the pizza. I ended up eating kids' meal lunches for the next 3 days, which is a decent portion.
Yeah.
I'm complaining. And not having a big bill at the end is a huge just kind of relief. It's already paid for. You're adding up the tips, anything extra that you've added to your meal, whether it's a second drink or if the kids wanted a character cup or something.
Right.
But that's a much smaller number than it has been.
Which is what Sarah said. It just makes it feel more like a cruise or like an all-inclusive because you're used to paying for those extra things. But yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards not, because you also have to think about where you want to eat. And I've realized 2 or 3 places that we want to try, we can't use the dining plan. So I'd be paying cash for that.
Right.
So I don't know. Did that end up happening to you guys? Did you pay anything?
Not for a meal, but for snacks we did. Just because of where we were in the park and what we wanted at the time. We were in Pandora and we wanted the big pretzel from Pangu.
Yeah, Pangu.
Yeah. And they wouldn't take it as a snack credit. I was like, okay, it's fine. It's what we want right now. We'll pay cash for it. It's fine. So that was kind of just tricky to.
It's just another thing to think about.
Pay attention to. Exactly. Yeah.
On the other hand, you're not thinking about the cost as much because it's kind of like a prepaid experience. So yeah, I go back and forth. It's hard. I think it is enough with the kids eat free to at least price it out. So it's smart that you did that. But the big thing I want to talk to you about is you decided to do Premier Pass for Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. I love to hear, well, first off, like,
yes,
why did you want to do Premier Pass this time? This was the first time, right?
This was the second time. It was released.
So you like it.
Right. We love it. It came out right before our trip last year in 2025. Our first trip was in 2024. It was in the Genie Plus time. And thanks to all of your tips and tricks, I was a Genie Plus ride booking master. And we got on everything we wanted to in the times we wanted to. And my husband was so impressed that he agreed to just keep going back to Disney because I made it so easy for him.
Because you did such a good job.
Yes, thanks to you. Oh. So then our second year, he said, okay, we can go back, but let's make it a shorter trip this time. Let's only do Magic Kingdom one day. And as it got closer and we started talking about what we wanted to do, and I started looking at return times on Thrill Data, I was realizing that with Lightning Lane Multipass, I can reserve my 3 rides for the day, but they may not be the times that I want. They may be later in the day.
Right, which wouldn't really work for you, and like
it doesn't work for it doesn't work for our family. For some people, that's totally great. They're fine to rope drop, do a bunch of rides, take a break, and come back and have the stacked lightning lanes. It just didn't fit with us in the phase of life we're in right now. So we ended up doing Premier Pass because it just kind of made sense. We would be able to go into the park at whatever time we wanted and walk around, not glued to my phone, not stressed about a return time. And just as we came to a ride, we could scan into it. It also allowed me to kind of make really fun sections of our day. So we would have like a whole Star Wars morning where I had my day anchored by more of the experiences versus anchored by the exact ride times that we had to hit. So we could go watch Kylo Ren search for the Resistance over in that one area. We could wait in line to meet Chewbacca. They could go through the gift shop,
and not
of course.
Be like, hey, we got it. We got to get going because our lightning lane's about to start.
Exactly. And I'm the type of person that when the lightning lane's about to start, we have to be there at the very beginning so that I can then book another ride. I'm not waiting till the end of that hour.
Yeah.
So it really just took a level of anxiety away from just the ride portion. And that's what is most important to our family right now. The phase that we're in is just, they're obsessed with the rides. Some people are they want to go back and have a really great afternoon at the hotel pool and go to a really nice dinner close by. So this was more our splurge where we're staying at a value resort. We're saving a little bit of money on that, but we're able to put that money towards having a really full laid back park day.
That's so smart. Like, especially when you don't have toddlers who are napping and you don't have to, I don't like when people say that it's just a place to sleep, but in your case, if you are very ride focused and that's what your boys are into and they're in the stroller, so they're not getting like super tuckered, you can stay there a little bit longer and then go back and like literally sleep, which is really nice. Does the app like keep track of, I mean, I guess you don't really have to keep track of like which ride, like you would remember, but does it have like, does it do like a little check? Like, oh, you rode the teacups or something.
Yeah, it will show you like what's left in your Premier Pass. So it says you've checked into these, and then towards the top it says something like experiences left, and you can see which ones you haven't hit yet.
That's cool. Would you remember how many you rode? Because at Hollywood Studios doesn't have a ton of rides, but like Magic Kingdom, you can't ride everything.
So we almost did.
Wow. That's awesome.
Everything with a lightning lane. So like Astro Orbiter doesn't have a lightning lane. We didn't ride that, but we did all of Fantasyland. My older son and my husband did Space Mountain. We did rider swap for Tron. My youngest got to do the Speedway twice while we just swapped their magic bands so that my oldest could do Tron again. My youngest could do Speedway
Sometimes
twice.
That's the easiest thing to do.
It really
was.
To
swap bands, yeah.
Rather than
I did that because it's hard to cancel lightning lanes once you're in the window. So like that trip when I had the baby, I missed so many rides because I was nursing or he fell asleep and someone had to stay back. And sometimes it was easier to just hand my band to someone for them to scan me in, even though I wasn't there, so that I could book another ride.
Exactly.
We actually do that a lot to just kind of swap things around. It's like the easiest. And I don't think the cast members seem to care.
I don't think so. I don't think they're even paying attention. There's so many people going through that
it's true.
There's a lot for them to be worrying about.
You could technically, I guess, if like I know people that book Premiere and you could also buy a single pass. Like if you wanted to do the lightning lane for Tron twice.
So that is
technically.
Yeah, with the Premier Pass, you're only riding each ride one time. But I guess if you wanted to add on again, you could add the single pass on top of it. If you were like
a Rise of the Resistance diehard.
Right.
Which I am not, but I love it. I don't need to ride it twice.
Yeah,
but
it's great.
So that's really cool and interesting because even Hollywood Studios, it's just one of those parks because there isn't a ton of rides, especially like for little kids. It can get hard to balance the lightning lanes and getting them early enough so that if you want Mickey and Minnie's and you want Slinky, it just makes it really hard, which I'm assuming you rode both because they're really into rides. Yeah.
Yeah. We rode everything in Hollywood, but it did help that Rock and Roller Coaster is currently closed in Magic Kingdom. Big Thunder Mountain is still closed. Buzz is at the time. It
makes it easier for you with Premiere, but it's harder with Multipass.
Exactly. So you're not necessarily getting the times you want, or maybe even the ride at all, just if it's a crowded week or something. And you're not tied to your phone trying to figure out if you can get it later. I'm not refreshing, hoping that something will pop up. I'm literally just spending that time paying attention to my family and having a blast.
Yeah. When did you buy Premiere Pass? Like, when did you decide and just like buy it?
At the 7-day mark when you can buy.
So you bought it right away?
Yeah, I knew exactly.
Did you notice if it sold out while you were there? Did Magic Kingdom?
It probably did. I was watching leading up to our trip to see how tricky it would be to get it. I had no problem getting it, but I would imagine as we were there at
because people buy it like that day sometimes too.
I think when they realize they're not getting late return times, they'll just add it on probably. Or the people not staying and then booking 3 days out if they're not staying on property. I think that's probably when it really sells out.
Yeah. So it felt busy the week you were there?
It felt crowded in areas. I feel like not much different than when we were there in April before. Magic Kingdom Fantasyland felt empty, but I believe that's because early entry was at 7:30 that morning. So by the time we got there at 8:45, I think most of the people had already done everything. So there were moments we were scanning into rides and I was like, we didn't even really need the lightning lane for this ride. It's just a little 5-minute wait. But it was nice to just be able to jump from ride to ride and have more downtime between it whenever I thought we needed the downtime.
Yeah, that's really nice. And you don't have to worry about rides like going down or like just basing your schedule on anything else. You just scan in when you get there.
Right. We walked into Hollywood Studios at 8:30 and the cast member was saying that Rise of the Resistance, Slinky Dog, and Alien Swirling Saucers were all currently down. So if that was your rope drop early entry plan, you were then scrambling to go find something else to do. And that would really put a wrench in your plans for the rest of the day too, probably.
I hate Hollywood Studios in the morning. It drives me nuts. Because like you just don't know what's going to happen. We never ever rope drop Rise or Slinky. We don't, when I say rope drop, I just mean do first, really. But Slinky, I mean, pretty much every time we've been there has like a delayed run and people are just waiting in the line for it to open. And then Toy Story Mania can kind of be a little bit surprising, a little bit finicky. I guess because there's two sides, like maybe one side will be running. Like I've actually gotten in the lightning lane for that and left because I could tell it was not moving.
Right.
Like I was like, I think we should just go do something else and come back. So if I gave you the option, I'm just curious, because you've only stayed value so far. Do you have any desire to like stay deluxe and not do premiere? If like gun to your head, you had to choose, you do.
If I had to choose, I would stay value and do a premiere pass. I do have the desire and hope to stay at the beach club or the boardwalk when I think my kids would enjoy the pool time a little bit more or be able to kind of take a break, go back in at dinner time and do some rides later in the day too. I just know for the phase of life we are in right now, we are just that 9 to 5 park day and we try to get in as much as we can. And that premiere pass is just the key to doing it all. But it is at a laid back, relaxed pace. I'm not dragging my kids ride to ride and they're melting down.
Right.
We're making our way there slowly. There's still a line when you're going through a lightning lane. You're still waiting a couple minutes as you're moving through it. So there still is that downtime. But I do think if you can save in one area and splurge in another, if that's what is important to your family, that's a great splurge to have.
I love that. It's funny because I had a friend, we were trying to plan out when she should use Premiere or like what park day. And I had said something along the lines of like, oh, it's smart that you did a rest day after Premiere. Cause like, I'm like, you're going to be exhausted. And she's like, no, it's like the opposite. Like you're actually you're doing a lot. Like I would call that like you're going hard because you're doing a bunch of rides, but it's completely different because you're literally just getting on the ride and then leaving. Like you're not doing all of the work of leading up to and like having to pull kids away from certain things to make it and scan in so you can get another one. So it actually ends up being more chill.
I feel like mentally it's so much more chill because I'm not stressing about any of those return times or windows or is my dining going to conflict with what we're getting for later?
Which is what's working for your family, which is the whole point. And I always hate like telling people like, it depends. Like, is it worth it? It depends. And I know that's not an answer, but that's usually the answer is that it depends.
It's true. And my kids are both old enough and tall enough to do all of the rides too. If my youngest was still 2 years old and he couldn't ride the majority of those rides, we wouldn't pay for that because that would be a waste. But he can go on everything except for Space Mountain and Tron right now.
And they like everything, it sounds like.
And he loves it. Yes.
I love that. I have a little bit more of timid. A little bit. I don't know. It's funny. My oldest kind of reminds me of me. Like she wants to ride it, but she's scared. So it's that balance of if I know that she's genuinely going to like it, I kind of have to push her a little bit. And then she's happy that she did it.
Right.
She feels great. So you did multi-pass for Epcot and Animal Kingdom?
We did.
And how'd that go?
It was good. Animal Kingdom, there's just not enough to justify a premiere pass for that.
Well, there's no tiers.
There's not. Yeah, it's just kind of we pre-booked the safari, we pre-booked Navi River and we pre-booked Everest. And then my oldest and husband did Flight of Passage. And we just kind of had a relaxed day going about the park. And then for Epcot, we had our rides picked. So we did Soarin', Mission Space, and I'm blanking on the other one.
What do you guys think of Mission Space? Do your boys like Mission Space?
My boys love it.
Oh my gosh.
It was my first time on it. My husband and older son had gone on it before, but they just think it's cool.
There should be a warning about, so if no one knows what Mission Space is, I don't like it, which is probably no surprise to anybody. But it gives you the simulation of being projected upwards to space through centrifugal force. So you're spinning, but it doesn't feel like you're spinning. It feels like you're going straight up. And it's very realistic if you or your child have the dream of going to space. It does really feel like that, which is my worst nightmare. Yeah. I've been watching the lunar launch. Yeah. I'm like, oh, like Mission Space. But I've had members, once they close that door, like, you're in there.
Oh, you're
She's
stuck.
Like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what I was getting into. Because it's obviously like when you go into the ride, it's low. You know that it's not a roller coaster, that it's not whatever. And it can be a little surprising for people. Mm-hmm. And it's always funny when people love it or hate it.
Yeah.
It's like there's no like in between. No. It's so funny.
And it was one of those that, looking at return times, I probably didn't need it to be one of my pre-booked rides. But I knew we wanted Remy's. That's what we did first. We had our Remy's booked for the later afternoon. We had Soarin' for the morning. And then I just added Mission Space around the time that we bought a single pass for Guardians. Because you're right there in that area. Mm-hmm. I will say, though, Guardians was down until about 3:00 that day. So
You're kidding.
That stressed me out. So I didn't have... Yeah. I knew that they would honor the Lightning Lane whenever it came back up. But what happened was we just lucked out. We came out of Spaceship Earth, which is, again, close by, and Guardians had just reopened. So we bolted over there and scanned in. But when we got out of it, the Lightning Lane line was so long because everyone who had bought it for that day was now standing in the Lightning Lane. So things like that, it's stressful.
Yeah, and you can't do anything about it.
Out of your control.
Yeah, rides going down is probably not talked about enough because it is so out of your control. Obviously, like if it's raining, you kind of expect outdoor rides, like, okay, it's raining. They can't run when it's like lightning or something like that. But there's indoor rides that will just go down. Like I remember we were having a trip where we could not ride Nemo, which is like, it's shells that are going in a straight line. Like I don't understand, on a conveyor belt. But there was something up with Nemo, and every time we went, it was down. And it's not the type of ride that it's like worth it to really hang out or like bolt when it came back up. But just every time we were going, it was just always down. So it can be hard because it's completely out of your control, and there's no like rhyme or reason to, like, for Guardians to be down all day. I mean, not all day, but till 3 is late.
I was pretty convinced it wasn't going to come back up, but we just lucked out.
I'm glad you guys got to ride it.
Yes, me too. It was all of our first time.
And not get stuck in that lightning lane.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I heard they did something different with when you go into the pre-show, was it different than last year with like the way they divert people? Did you notice anything?
It was our first time, so I'm not sure.
Oh, it was your first time?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm interested. Yeah.
It was great.
I'll report back when I go.
Yeah.
Did you love it?
We loved it. And even my 4-year-old loved it. It was very fun.
I love that ride. It's so happy.
Yes.
It's not scary. Like it is, but it's not. Like it gives you that feeling in your belly that just like makes you laugh like the whole time.
Yes, we were loving it.
Even though it's like a roller coaster. It's
a crazy roller coaster, but awesome.
It is crazy. And it's funny. I think I probably like that because you can't see the ground.
Right.
It's so dark. I don't know where I am. Mm-hmm. So I feel safe and secure. It's just dark enough that I can have a good time. I love that ride. It's so fun. Well, this was really fun. Thank you for
Yes.
chatting with me about your trip.
Thank you for having me.
What was like your favorite thing this time that you think you're going to remember for a while?
Oh, my favorite thing, it has nothing to do with rides or the park days, but we brought Disney Uno card game with us to
Yes, you posted about that.
Yes, to our table service meal, to our character meals. And at Tusker House and at Topolino's, the characters, when they came over, they just started playing cards with us. And it was
Oh my gosh.
the cutest character interactions we ever had.
Do you remember which characters
So it was
did it?
Goofy and Donald at Tusker House. And it was our second time seeing them. So they had come through once, signed our things, took our pictures, and then you're there long enough, they stop by again. And then at Topolino's, it was Donald again, came over and started playing.
I was going to say,
us.
I can just see Donald doing that.
It was so funny. He picked up a card, look at the character on it, would start miming something about them. And my husband and I were trying to narrate for him. It was just really cute and meaningful. They can't talk to you. So sometimes my kids want to take a picture with them, but then they're like, okay, bye. It was a really cute memory.
They really get that long interaction, or it's like you said, their second time around, or just a slow day and they can spend some extra time with you. Mm-hmm. Can you send me the link of the exact ones that you played with?
Oh, sure. Definitely.
The Disney Uno?
Yeah.
I'm going to put that in the show notes for everybody.
Definitely.
Because you posted that and I was like, I have to order that for our trip because my girls are definitely at that age where they could play that.
Yeah, it's definitely an easy game. My 4-year-old could play it. And it's great for passing the time anyway, when you're waiting for them to come around, when you're waiting for your food. We love that, and we love Spot It, too. That's a great Disney card game, too. So
I weirdly don't have the Disney one. I have the classic and I have the beach one. Do you have the beach one?
I don't have the beach. We have the
It's
Disney's.
waterproof.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, they're I don't think the regular ones would fare too badly, but they're laminated so you could take them to the pool.
Oh,
and they're on a ring.
Oh,
Yes.
Perfect.
So I just throw them in my beach bag and they're great for any time, but I obviously need to get the Disney one.
Yeah.
So Disney Uno, Disney Spot It, adding that to my packing list for July.
Definitely.
So thank you for that.
Of course.
Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Laid Back Magic Way podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode and it was helpful for you, it would mean the world to me if you'd write a quick review. Your reviews help more moms like you find the show, and I read every single one of them. Seriously, thank you in advance. You can find me on Instagram at Somewhere Worthwhile, and I'd love to hear from you there. DM me if you have any questions about this episode or what you'd like to see in future ones. Until then, keep planning for your next favorite memory, and I'll see you next time.